doing the 5-1 resolution thing. The whole key to playing a tune like Softly in the Morning Sunrise really successfully, the first part is just knowing the key and getting some ideas going inside the scale, the basic scale, which is C minor, so we can do that. But to really make it work, you really want to activate the 5 chords. By activate, I mean play the 5 chords in a way that makes them act like 5s. A 5 chord, as we know, is something that leads to a 1 chord. That's all a 5 chord is. So in Softly in the Morning Sunrise, there's a melody, right? But the chord progression is. So it's got this 2-5 in it. So every 2-5 in almost every situation is playable just as a 5, and vice versa. You can turn any 5 into a 2-5 and any 2-5 into a 5. Okay, without going into a deep explanation, some of you already understand this and some of you might not. But just take my word for it that 5s and 2-5s are interchangeable, unless because 2-5s are a whole scene. We'll probably touch on that at the end and get a little bit into 2-5s. But a 5 will get the job done just by itself. So what you want to get happening is this. So listen to. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play 2 A's of this. I'm gonna play them 2 different ways, and check out how it sounds. That's the first day. Okay. Now check this one out. 1, 2. You hear the difference between those 2?
Yeah.
Okay. So one of them laid, and it was cool, and then one of them had a little more motion. You could feel the harmonic movement. Okay, I'll do it one more time. 1, 2. So here's a normal one. 2. That was the second one. So the second one had the benefit of linear harmony. So I play the harmony as a line, and you can hear it. So you can feel that some changes going on in there, as opposed to just kind of laying there in C minor. Now both of them will work, and they'll sound pretty cool. But the one that has those 5 chords, what I did was I just played 5 chords. I played 5. I said 1, 5, ba ba da da, 1 da da ba ba da da da, 5, 1. That's all I was doing. 1, 5, 1, 5, 1. That linear motion of 1, 5, 1 created, a little more interest and a little more action. Got me out of my same, because if you just play D minor for a whole chorus, it's gonna be like, especially if it's like 3 choruses, it's like. If the 4th chord we're talking about. And so even if the rhythm is good, it's still, if you just lay in the same tonality forever, it's going to be a drag. So that's a good way to start, because you still want to be swinging, and you want to have connection to the home key, which is where we start with the diatonic exercises. But the way to really make it work is to understand where the 5s are, and the next level is 2 5s. So that you can get even more sophisticated with the 2s and the 5s. But if you just do 5s, see, singers, oftentimes, I hear lots of singers, and we'll see how you guys do, but I hear lots of singers scat, and oftentimes singers will scat in a way that's typically laying in just the home key. Now we'll see what you guys do. It depends on what what you're into if you're scatting. But for horn players, it's easy because we can push the buttons. We can look at a piece of paper and say, oh, there's a G7, and change our stuff, and it's there. But if you might not hear it, which is why I want everybody to scat. Because then we got to see if you really hear it. And then we can, of course, you can play a 2-5 pattern that you practiced on, but if you hear it in your head, it's going to be better. It's going to sound better. And so that's what I really want to get us to. Because when we play the tune actually has the motion in there. And our real goal for improvisation is to improvise in a way where the harmony is linearized. And that's what I mean when I say we want to play with harmonic relevance. That's true harmonic relevance, when we're actually playing in such a way that you can hear the changes moving even with the line. I'm not playing a chord in my saxophone, I'm just playing a line, but you can hear the chords moving. And that's the most basic, let's say, professional level of jazz improvisation, is that when you can linearize the harmony in such a way that you can hear it when someone's playing without a rhythm section. Okay? So the cleanest way to do that is to get into diminished chords, because diminished chords are part of the dominant chord, and your dominant chord is your 5. Okay, and if you look at it from a functional harmony perspective, dominant chord is the one that wants to move. And it usually it can move to a few places, but the most common place is for it to move to 1 if it's a 5, right? And so our diminished chord really activates that. It makes it happen. Okay, so that's our next bit of practice. After we get this diatonic thing going, we're going to get into our diminished chords and practice those and sing those, and then we're going to try to put that together in an improvisation that incorporates our diminished sound to create the sound of the 5. So it's pretty cool, and it's not super hard. It may be a challenge at first if you're not used to it, but it's not complicated. Even if it's a challenge, it's not complex. It's really just you have to get used to the way the diminished chord feels, and then figure out where to put it. And if you get that going, you got it.